Hello viewers! Last month I started a video series in response to a video called Why I Hate Bread Tubers from the YouTuber Rob's Media. I didn't end up finishing it because towards the end of the series I had a change of heart in the direction that I want to take this channel. There are things happening in the world right now that I think are important and not getting enough coverage on YouTube, namely the genocide in Gaza. While I had previously covered it on my channel, that coverage was interspersed between internet drama videos and making fun of weird guys. And that's all fine, right? But after spending a month making videos exclusively about Gaza, I discovered that I really do not want to talk about anything else. Not right now, at least. There's too much suffering, too many lies justifying that suffering, and not enough people talking about it on YouTube. For this reason, I have no desire to return to online drama content. I've been working every day, 12 hours a day for the last 3 weeks on a big video that's related to media coverage of the Gaza genocide, and I have a few others in the chamber. I'm excited for you all to see them. With that said, though, there are some loose ends in the drama sphere that I want to tie up first, starting with Rob's Media. Rob responded to my videos, so that's what we're going to look at today. Hopefully it'll be a nice break from the really heavy stuff as well if that's been too much for you to watch. So that's the plan. But first, real quick, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, LELO. LELO makes some really high quality bedroom equipment for going bonkers on yourself and others' sexual style. LELO was kind enough to send me the Tor 3 and the F1S V3, and these things are amazing. The Tor 3 is a ring to put around your thing, basically, and it vibrates and has a bunch of settings like murmurs and pulses and more. It's a couple's toy, and it works really well for that purpose. The placement and vibration strength makes it so that both you and your partner or partners, everybody, can be having a great time. It's waterproof, the silicone is high quality, and it has a great battery life, up to 2 hours on a full charge. Along with the Tor 3, LELO also sent me the F1S V3, which is an AI-driven male masturbator. It's a machine that you fuck, basically. It's awesome. The feeling is like a whole new thing. It uses sonic waves from all sides to really stimulate you. The motors are very, very powerful. It's too loud. I'm gonna turn it off. But you can dial in the perfect settings for you with the LELO app. That's right, it has Bluetooth. The AI part of it is crazy too. It uses a performance feedback sensor that adjusts the intensity and motion response in real time. There's some amazing Black Friday deals going on right now, but hurry because they're not gonna last long. Use my code NOAHLELO10 for an extra 10% off your purchase. Go to the link in the description so you can get this thing and you can use it and be like, wow, and thank me later. Okay. Back to the video. So Rob's Media responded with a video called Responding to Noah Samson, which makes sense as a name for the video. Love the thumbnail, looking good. It's another pretty long video, so I will need to break this up into parts again. Sorry. Again, I got other stuff to put out in the meantime, but don't worry, Rob. I won't forget you. Never forget. Rob.
So I've been wanting to respond to Noah Samson's coverage of my Why I Hate Bread Tubers video, which he decided to split into multiple parts for some reason. Unlike him, I don't like wasting my audience's time, so I'll only be going over the main egregious points Noah made. I'll link all of his videos below. Don't harass the guy, obviously. I'm linking them for full transparency.
I like that, linking the videos. I think it's good practice. More YouTubers should do that. Academic. As for the comment about me wasting people's time, whether it's one big video or chapters, I'd be wasting their time regardless. The content itself is a waste of time. I am sorry though if you feel like your time was wasted. Some of my viewers felt the same way and just sat the series out or unsubscribed, which is totally cool. I get it. I just let the market decide, and the market told me to stop making them.
What really caught my attention of Noah's responses is the downright slanderous stuff he said about YouTuber, streamer, and fat British guy Chud Logic. In my original video, I brought up this infamous Noah tweet where he calls Chud a pedo and insists he should be brutally killed. I'll address this tweet more later, but let's focus on the important part. Noah is outright trying to paint Chud as a pedo, something no other YouTuber agrees with.
Okay, so the first point that Rob brings up is the Chud Logic allegations. So in my video, I retracted the accusation that Chud Logic was a pedophile, but I did it in sort of a backhanded way. I'll play that now. So yes, technically you guys got me. He's not a pedophile, he's an ephebophile. He's not a pedophile, he's an ephebophile, and a weirdo and a groomer. So yeah, I do want to unequivocally retract that he's a pedophile, that I called him a pedophile. I shouldn't have done that, and I'm sorry to Chud Logic for doing that. I got some feedback from CSA survivors about how we shouldn't throw that word around without evidence because it cheapens the word's meaning, and I think that makes perfect sense. I've always loved internet humor like this, extreme hyperbolic insults, like quote tweeting a Zionist that's mocking Palestinians being killed and saying, hey chat, someone should probably beat this guy to death with hammers. Or in Chud's case, he was putting scantily clad photos on the thumbnails of videos that were scrutinizing sexual assault allegations. Hey guys, we should should melt this pedo guy in a cast iron cauldron. It's ridiculous. It's a product of Twitter culture, and it's always been hilarious to me. What I've learned over time, though, is that doing this is not worth it. It's not worth the trade-off in punishment. I got banned from Twitter for this and other similar statements. My cope for almost 2 years now has been that I was leaving anyways, and that Elon broke the site and made it Nazi site, and that's true in part. I've been on Blue Sky lately, and it's 10 billion times better. You should follow me on there if you want. However, having access to my audience on other platforms is genuinely pretty helpful, especially when it comes to the more serious political side of things, like the stuff I've been covering lately. And it would be nice to be able to talk about it with, my audience and the people I know. But thanks to stuff like this, I don't have that anymore, which sucks. So to anyone that wants to do content online, as funny as it may feel to post stuff like this or make hyperbolic death threats, as fun as the word pedophile is to throw around at people you don't like, if you don't have any real evidence to go off of, then just keep that offline. Anyways, let's continue.
In early 2021, a Twitter user made a thread detailing her experience of Chud the year prior. She said she was a fan of his, and he'd messaged her first with this glorious image. Ayo, is that Mutahar?
I think Rob is trying to make a joke here and say that this guy looks like Mutahar from Some Ordinary Gamers, but these guys look nothing alike. I think Rob just identified their one common feature, brown, and did a bit off of that, but come on, it's not even remotely close. That's crazy.
They'd sent messages back and forth for months, usually being flirty or inappropriate. Sure, they're weird and creepy, but you can say that for any leaked sexual exchanges.
I don't know about that one. I think you can definitely sext without being weird or creepy. I think suggesting otherwise is kind of a self-report. Maybe what he means here is that it's, cringe seeing people horny texting outside of the context in which they were horny, which I generally agree with, but weird and creepy every time? Nah, man.
At one point, Chud says that he doesn't want to flirt with someone who's a young adult, with his limit being someone half his age plus 7. Chud was 34 at the time, meaning the youngest he'd flirt with is 24.
Like she said herself, I said that I was 18. I never really made a big deal out of this idea that I was some sort of pedophile, but that became the narrative. That became the narrative that grew up off the back of it.
This point is odd from Rob. Chud was under the impression that this girl was 18, but if his age limit was supposed to be 24, then he broke his own rule, right? Like he knew it was wrong, but he did it anyways. That was my original point. Rob doesn't argue against that though. He actually just follows it up by immediately accusing the girl of trying to ruin Chud's career.
So yeah, this Haley person lied about their age, and is now playing victim while trying to ruin Chud's career.
I think because he and others disagree that Chud was being predatory at all, then that must mean that she was acting maliciously by making these accusations. This is unfair in my opinion, because when we read through what Haley actually said, it seems pretty clear from the tone and from what she said that that's not what was happening. She starts by giving her reasoning that she feels morally obligated to say something for the safety of other young people in her community. Before making any accusations, the first thing she does is admit to fault about lying about her age and posting not suitable for work content in the Discord. She calls these mistakes and apologizes for them. She also communicates that she feels ashamed for even having to share this exchange. She admits with embarrassment to feeling special and attached, but still feeling uncomfortable because of his messages. And she also admits to knowing from the start that Chud was in his mid-30s. She ends by apologizing to Chud for going back on her word to not leak the messages, but reiterates what she said at the start, that she is doing this with the goal of protecting other young people. So what about this thread communicates ill intent? I feel like you can disagree with these charges without demonizing this person by assuming that she was acting maliciously, by assuming that she was just trying to ruin this guy's life for no reason. Watching back some of the responses at the time further illustrates this point, I think. Take Destiny, for example. Before even reading all of the messages, he starts out by framing this accuser in relation to other accusers that only make accusations out of regret.
Somebody flirting with you and typing sexual messages at you is not grooming. What the fuck do you guys think grooming is? What is grooming to you? It sounds to me like every single attempt at flirting is grooming to you people. That's fucking disgusting. You guys are dumb as fuck. If you think you don't know what grooming means, just don't use it as a word. Jesus Christ. Grooming equals guy hit on me and later on I decided that I wasn't really into it.
When he actually goes through the thread, he reads them mockingly, setting it up so that whatever comes next will seem trivial.
First, if you are related to me, I beg you, don't read this. I don't want this. I don't want to carry the shame of what I let happen to me be in your minds. Jesus, fuck, this person must have been fucked. Wow, we're about to read some crazy shit. We're about to read some crazy shit in this thread.
He ends by concluding that Chud did nothing wrong.
You didn't invite this by lying that you were a year older or anything else. He knew better. This is on him. No. First of all, no one's making you lie about your fucking age. Fuck you. There is no pressure. There is no fucking like, man, I was just so pressured to introduce myself to a Discord server and lie that I was like, fuck you.
Whether you agree with his conclusion or not, his presentation of the accusations assumed malice from the start. Noteworthy here is Destiny's hypothetical about what he actually considers to be a real example of wrongdoing.
Does it matter? A 30-year-old shouldn't be talking to an 8-year-old? Like, I mean, like, who cares? Who are you even to judge this? Who the fuck cares that much? Like, if this guy was like trying to like abduct her from like a fucking high school or some shit, sure, maybe. But I mean, if you're all in a Discord room, like, as long as they're 18 plus, like, what does it matter?
This rationale from Destiny makes sense, though, given his history of statements about his own sexual exchanges with minors.
So what is the admitting to jerking off to 15-year-olds then? What is that in relation to?
I never admitted to jerking off. I think I just said like this, I think the log is something like this 15-year-old chick was trying to send me, or was sending me pictures of herself and she was hot as fuck. It's like really hard to like turn down some of these people. I think
Wait, how old was she?
She said she was 15.
Because I shared a picture of a chick that I said, look at this hot jailbait, that makes me a pedophile?
There are some 15, 16-year-old chicks that like look pretty fucking hot. Like I can't help that. Like some people mature fucking older. When you're a professional gamer, there's a lot of fucking girls that are hitting on you. It's insane. And the scariest part is the underage chicks that hit on you. If you're in your fucking early 20s or some shit and you've got these late fucking teeny poppers that are sending you, these crazy pictures and whatnot, like not necessarily nude pictures either. To my knowledge, I haven't received nude pictures of an underage person. Although, I guess it's theoretically possible. I don't know. I've never knowingly traded pictures with an underage person.
Consulting some of these logs, Destiny writes, "You want to see the sickest shit in the world? So many fangirls. I had one that was 15. Dude, she's 15. What the fuck? But she sent me pictures." Someone else writes, "What the fuck? She's huge." Destiny writes back, "That made it so hard to say no." He shares an image in the chat and then writes, "I'm gonna get arrested one of these MLGs, man." I don't know what MLGs means, but I'm getting the vibe that would be bad. A friend of his, minutes later, admits to hooking up with a 17-year-old. I don't know how old this person was, but based on the context of the conversation, I feel like they probably weren't 17. In another log, Destiny writes, "I would fuck the shit out of that 15-year-old girl, what the fuck." He was 26 at this time. So yeah, regardless of how you feel about ChudLogic's messages, the environment in which these allegations were discussed, given some of the people involved, was not so great. These kinds of responses, along with statements like Rob's, only further discourages people from speaking out when stuff like this happens. I guess that's a nice transition to the next point, which is the topic of ephebophilia.
Noah that makes fun of debate bro logic by using the term ephebiophile.
Well, it's just inappropriate for me to be flirting with someone who is underage or even young like 18. It's supposed to be half your age plus 7. So yes, technically you guys got me. He's not a pedophile, he's an ephebophile. This is a meme. It's the debate lord meme that you are differentiating.
That definition is straight up dumb. It conflates that being attracted to 15-year-olds is the same as being attracted to 19-year-olds.
Okay, so once again, I want to retract this accusation. I shouldn't have called this guy an ephebophile either. There's a running joke about how debate lords will make that distinction and how it's weird, and I guess now we have some insight as to why they might need to do that.
There are some 15, 16-year-old chicks that like look pretty fucking hot.
But in an effort to make fun of that, I ended up just unironically doing it myself. I made this distinction when no one involved with the situation ever used it as a defense. What I didn't know about ephebophilia, because to be honest, I didn't read much beyond the Google search I showed, is that the attraction to this age group must be primary. Like, he only goes after people in this age range. And beyond this one example, I have no evidence to support that this is the case. Again, I still think the messages were weird and creepy, and that the age gap, combined with the fact that she was a fan of his, does seem a bit predatory, but I should be able to say that without calling him these more loaded words. Another issue I do have here, though, is the implication from Rob that adults can't be groomed.
Chud was flirting with someone he believed was an adult, so nothing he did was morally wrong. You can call him creepy, but in no way is Chud a groomer.
Of course, adults can be groomed. Categorically denying that this could be a case of grooming because he thought she was an adult is wild. Don't do that.
Noah also tries calling out hypocrisy for me joking about his appearance.
Wait a minute, the thumbnail of this video says that stranger danger with my face. He is just kind of doing that, isn't he? Ooh. I get called a pedophile every other day on my YouTube channel, and it's usually because of my mustache and my haircut. You know, pedo-stash, it's sort of a classic insult.
Noah, you falsely calling Chud a pedo is in no way comparable to me making a goofy thumbnail. The issue here is that Noah lacks the ability to be charitable.
Rob does this thing where he just says something and doesn't give any reasons for why he thinks that. Love that. I also love his characterization of the thumbnail as just being goofy, and not that the text above my head says stranger danger, and that the person directly to my right or your left is a known sexual harasser and drawn child porn consumer. The obvious implication here is that we are somehow predatory. That's why I compared the two. Seems kind of like a reasonable comparison, I don't know.
The issue here is that Noah lacks the ability to be charitable. If one of his friends was in ChudLogic's shoes, he'd defend them to the very end. But here he just has to go the extreme length to label someone he doesn't like a groomer. This just proves the dehumanization point I made in my original video. He's gotta label him the worst thing ever. No other YouTuber agrees with this take from Noah, not even ChudLogic's sworn enemies, Xander Hall and Keffels.
Bandwagon fallacy. Bandwagon fallacy. Bandwagon. But nah, man, like I said, even though this stuff was really weird, I shouldn't have called this dude a pedophile or an ephebophile, and I'm sorry to ChudLogic for doing that. I do want to be more responsible and intentional with my words online, and this exchange has helped me to recognize that. Anyways, that's it for today. We will continue with this series later, but in the meantime, look out for some actually good videos, in my opinion. I think they'll be good really soon. I'll see you guys later. Bye.